My first question is for you, Patrick. You have a personal reason for founding this center in Maine, and could you tell us a little bit about that and how you came to make the decision to not only cure people as you do on television in Grey's Anatomy, but also with your philanthropy at this center in Lewiston, Maine?
Right. My mother was diagnosed in 1997 with ovarian cancer. Over the next 14 years, she had 12 reoccurrences. So our family was profoundly impacted by that diagnosis. My mother was incredibly brave, very strong, a big fighter. And through her cancer journey, right around this time, I got involved with the Amgen Tour de California in the Breakaway from Cancer initiative. And at this point, that was where the inspiration for the Cancer Foundation came from, was working with Amgen, the Tour de California, and the Breakaway from Cancer initiative. The integrative medicine really hit me as something that has to go hand in hand with someone who's diagnosed with cancer. It's the way to go. And we began the program over 14 years ago now.
So we just had Governor Hogan talk about being a cancer patient himself and the difficulty of talking to his family about that diagnosis. You were a son. What was it like from your perspective, understanding what your mother was going through and what to expect?
It's very hard to understand what it is that you can do as a caregiver. And thank God my sister Mary worked in the hospital, Central Maine Medical Center. So she was there and could understand what the doctors were telling my mother, so she could interpret what was going on. So thank God for that we had a patient advocate that was there that happened to be my sister, and so we had some inside knowledge, and it really helped us tremendously. So she could help us. And then it was what we can do to really keep my mother's spirit up. What is it that she likes to do? And she didn't want to lay down. She had to stay active. So gardening, things like that. So how do we keep people positive? How do we stay engaged and give them something to think about outside the treatments, and where to place the anxieties and all those questions mentally? How do you channel that energy? And that's where the sort of how the center evolved, is how do we make life better for people? What are the questions that they're going to ask us, and how do we give those answers back that will hopefully give them some sort of comfort in this?
So if you can describe just very briefly how that affects